crazy close-ups today. Doesn't feel like my life. I should look over every 15 seconds to see how someone be good. We're doing like clear image zoom ins on the close-ups recently, but today I'm not confident. We'll see.
Welcome to West Beach, South Australia for live softball action on beautiful Ghana land. Today it's the Hills Heat versus Sturt Falcons to complete round 4 of the Premier League, playing for the Linda Martin Shield. Today joining me are a couple of cool cats, literally. First is a premiership player and member of the national winning Stars team, power hitter from Walkerville, Sophie Roberts. Hi, Soph.
Howdy. It's a beautiful day today, so a little bit overcast, but I'd actually much rather this than the 35 degrees that was forecasted.
Yeah, well, absolutely. The wind's playing havoc everywhere. But and all the way from, now, I'm going to say this wrong, Mission Viejo? Viejo. There you go. I told you I say it wrong. From Saddleback Valley in Orange County, California, it's the Boise State Bronco All-Star pitcher, Taylor Caudle.
Hello. Nice to be here. I'm excited to make my commentary debut.
Yeah, so be kind, everybody. So we don't know if Mum Wendy is watching at home, but
she probably will.
She's so Taylor's been kind enough to jump on with me and Soph today. It's Hills Heat Club Day today, and they're playing the Sturt Falcons 6th versus 7th. But when you look at their numbers side by side, they're a bit closer.
Yeah, Hills is a very young team, similar to Sturt, but probably the one thing with Sturt is they do have a lot more experienced players that sort of round out the team, whereas with Hills it is the majority of I think most of them are under the age of 18.
Yeah, it's a very young pitching staff. And
very young pitching staff, but I do note that they've brought on an experienced catcher to help with the team, so hopefully that can be a bit of experience that they need to get them through. And
Courtney, we are going to talk about today as well. So Zoe Marrick is going to be the pitcher. She's throwing to Courtney Hawkinson. Erin Adams-McDonald's at first. Chloe Zackley is coming into second. Abby Bastions at short. Megan Williams at third. Kiara Trevio at left field. Laura Temke returns at centre, and Brianna Luxem is at right field. Sarah Tompkins going to lead us off for the Sturt Falcons.
It's going to be a very interesting for Sturt today because we played them Wednesday night, so they've obviously just freshly come off facing Taylor herself, who has got a nasty rise ball to begin with. So it'll be interesting to see how they're able to adjust to a young pitcher who... I don't have the sheet in front of me.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm horrible with names.
That's all right. Zoe Marrick.
Zoe Marrick, yeah. So it's going to take a lot of... probably their timing might be a little different facing it, Zoe. But with the experience of Tonkin, I have no doubt that she'll be able to... Yeah,
you jumped the Falcons 4-zip early, and then they Falcons rallied a little bit late on and got 3 back, and but you ended up winning 4-3. So took you
A bit
to
closer than we like.
Yeah, a little bit.
To be honest.
took you to the top of the ladder. We're not going to find out what's going to happen on that count because Sarah Tonkin's taken the ball on the foot and has made her way to first. And speaking of Tonkins, it's her sister Rachel who's now come up from second base, and she's going to be the number 2 batter. So as you're saying there, Soph, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Justina plays short early to try and advance some runners, or whether or not she's just going to try and rely on Sarah's speed. But obviously Hawkinson's arm's going to be the thing that we're going to look at.
Yeah, I definitely think Justine will want to test Hawkinson's arm in that, because Tonkin does have some wields. However, she does have the tendency to lead off quite early. So it will be a good test, but looked like that time they were trying to get the butt down to move around.
Look behind the curtains there from Sophie Roberts. So here we go. Marek with an early strike on Tonkin. So Sarah comes way off, and it's a called strike for the second one as Zachary comes in. And so now Tonkin finds herself 2 strikes, no balls.
This is also a really important batter to attack with Bell on deck, keeping the runner on first rather than getting her in scoring position. So really,
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
And you definitely want at least one out on the board to begin with like that. Or how about a double play?
Line drive to Megan Williams and Sarah Tonkin on what could have been a hit and run. Hard to tell. Looked like it was going into the 6-5 hole. We're going to check it here on
Firm
the
hit.
Arkabar replay.
wow, she stepped way off the plate.
Yeah, stepped away. The ball's coming in on a little bit of the inside there, so stepped away to give herself room, but unfortunately was just drilled right at Megan, who managed to get the double.
The very tall Erin Adams-McDonald making the infield a little bit smaller there at first and pulling that ball down for a good 2 out. But it only, as Courtney just said, brings Belle White, the Olympian, to the plate.
Yeah, that's a very good result for Hills to be able to get 2 quick outs just before Bell comes up and take the runner off the bases too.
Belle White just batting a lazy 500 over the first 5 games of the season. Over to Williams again off the toe of the bat. Erin Adams-McDonald, like you wouldn't believe it, leans down and takes the ball low as the Falcons go down 1-2-3 to start off this game here on the Arkabar replay.
Third base got all 3 outs.
Yeah, Megan right into the action to begin with. But yeah, you'd expect those type of hits with a team with a batting lineup like this. So Zoe did her job, was able to get the ball and play to her fielders to get the outs. And you'd want someone with experience like Megan at third to be able to get those hard hit plays.
That's probably why Coach Fairley's got her in the hot spot there. As you say, it's a very young team. I mean, the extremely talented Abby Bastian at shortstop, obviously, just missing out on the Australian 18 team. But we'll look at the Falcons now in defence, as we've got Zalia Adams throwing to Sarah Tonkin, Belle White, the Olympians at first, Rachel Tonkins at second, Maddie Cameron, the new shortstop for the Falcons in 2024. Abby Weir just recently announced in the state junior teams, 18s and 23s. Ashlyn Mensforth also named in the state 23s. Abby Kennedy out at centre field, and Ollie Durham just back from Texas, where she was over part of the Australian World Cup qualifiers for the under-18s. And did a pretty good job against you guys, keeping you guys to 4. I mean, obviously your offence at the moment, flying along, just crazy.
Yeah, well, it helps when we've got a pretty good pitching, not pitching coach, well, pitching definitely helps, but coaching staff in Bindi, but also with Annie Fidge and the likes of Linda Martin to be able to get that, knowledge from legends.
Yeah,
and that definitely helps.
Pretty fancy. Roberts batting King batting 556, Roberts batting 438, Erin Stone 429, Chelsea Robertson Recruit of the Year 400. And Georgia Mason, 286. So that top 5.
438.
I'm not making these numbers up. So.
I'm just a bit surprised.
Zali Adams is going to throw to the leadoff for the Hills Heat. It's their shortstop, Abby Bastian.
Yeah, as you said, Abby was just unlucky in not making the Australia under-18 team that went over to Texas that Ollie was in to play in the Junior World Champs. But that's like one thing with her. I know that she's only just taken that as...
Ball hit out to left field. Mensforth gets underneath it. That's not an easy catch, looking directly into the 3 o'clock West Beach sun, but a well-judged catch by Ashley Mensforth out at left field, retires Bastian. and brings Laura Temke, who I haven't seen too many games so far this season, so good to see her back and playing.
Yeah, haven't seen her too much this year, but she had a really great year last year, so I hope you can bring in. But that's a good positive start from Sturt, be able to get one out in one pitch. I know Zali will be very happy with that, because you generally want your pitchers to pitch as minimal balls as possible in an inning.
So Tamke, Adams, outfield reasonably shallow. Swings over the top of a ball breaking on the outside there by Zali Adams, who looks like she's gained a yard to me in the off-season. And definitely when you see Zali jumping off the plate, she's up and about. So looking very good for the Falcons 2024.
Yeah, it'll just be interesting to see how much Hills make the adjustment, because one thing that, is picked up quite well is Tonkin does like to call the outside pitch.
Yeah.
So it is...
Well, Zali just showed there, when her change is on, so she, and already it's looking pretty good. So
yeah.
It'll be a long day for the Hills, but offensively, you look at some of their batters, their numbers actually aren't as bad as unfortunately their ladder position would show. But just defensively, they're just struggling to keep the runs down as Tamke swings over the top of that ball down low. White takes it at first, and we've got our second out, which brings to the plate the Hills Heat import this year, a young lady by the name of Courtney Hawkinson. She's a Minnesota native, and we believe her mum Tonsha is watching the game. I think it's about midnight over there in Minnesota. So,
Oh, hi, Mum.
So Courtney's already had an impact in the Premier League. She's already put a ball out on diamond 2, which is not easy.
That is a feat in itself.
hitting a home run on diamond 2 is not an easy task. So here she is facing Zali Adams. Gets underneath this one. White travels over to it, but falls just short. Hawkinson's going to get another opportunity. So we'll talk about Courtney throughout the game. She's been super impressive for the Heat. I was speaking to Coach Fairley just before the game, and obviously they're a very young team, as we pointed out. Courtney's done a great job with her excellent leadership credentials that she's got, and apparently they love her food so much that she's their go-to chef.
Oh, I love that.
So apparently there's a variety of different meals. Coach Fairley said that she's cooked for them and she's got them all hooked. So
time's been called. Baseball's entered the field.
As the baseball has returned for the first time this season, the Adelaide competition, not the Giants. They're a couple of weeks later as Bell White throws.
Chucked it over there.
Not impressed with the delay. So Hawkinson, 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out here for the Heat. It's the bottom of the first.
As you were saying a bit before, Anthony, even though Hill's position on the ladder at the moment isn't actually reflecting their numbers at the moment, Hawkinson's been one of those reasons as to why their numbers have been good, despite the fact that they're low on the ladder. And you can already see that, a couple rounds in already to the season, the impact she's having with that hard ball hit right up the centre.
Yeah, she has got all of that as she hits a single to centre field to kick off the Heat for the day. And the two, here we look on here on the Aqaba replay.
Yeah, that pitch was a little bit more elevated than the ones before. She was attacking that drop low in the zone, and she took advantage of the fact that she missed one up and lasered it right back at her. So I think that's going to be a big thing for Hills to do, is to adjust to the low, but taking advantage of anything that's missed.
Third base Megan Williams, who had a very busy first innings defensively with all 3 outs, comes to the plate in the 4 spot. And I'm just trying to see who their runner is, but as I said before, I'm not wearing my glasses.
Number 4?
Number 4. I can do the numbers.
I'm of no help, sorry.
Right, so number 4 is
Charter.
Yeah, Charter Harris. It's
there
just the first name I want to get right.
Ooh, pretty. Just a little outside.
Yeah, that was a very nice little drop ball there from Zali. Just missed the zone. Macaulay obviously not liking it too much.
The name's right on the edge of the scorecard, so I don't know if that's a K. So we're going to go with Charter Harris and S today. until I can get some information there on that. Sorry for... I don't know if it's Susco. Oh. We'll look into it. So
We'll find that out.
It's just right on the edge of the scorecard. All right, Megan Williams, same count as Hawkinson had before. 2 out, runner at first. Takes a pitch on the outside.
Yeah, this is just showcasing the experience between Williams and Hawkinson. They've both taken a lot of pitches and just waited for balls that they actually want to hit, whereas compared to Abby and Tamki in the beginning, they went out early, got good hits, but
Good at bat.
Charter Harris goes on the full count, as you would expect, and it's a high pitch that Williams' discipline stays off, brings to the plate. Today's flex, the DP power hitter, Mia Oates-Wallace. See if she can bat a run in here for the Heat, as they've now got a runner in scoring position at 2. Williams is at 1. It's 2 out. We're in the bottom of the first. It's Adams to Oates-Willis.
yeah, it'd be important for Mia to take on what Williams and Hawkinson just did in their previous at-bats. Take a few pitches, wait for the one you like, and try not to chase anything, because that is what Sarah and Zali will be wanting today, having them chase those low pitches to get those easy ground outs.
So first pitch was inside, pushing Wallace off the plate. Second pitch away, breaks away, and she swings over the top.
That was a beautiful drop ball.
As Adams goes ahead in the count. Smart calling by Tonkin. 2 strikes now on the batter. And ball on the off. Charter Harris makes her way over to third as William jogs into second. So danger here for the Falcons. Runner 60 feet away from taking an early lead. Oates-Wallace is going to have to cover the plate and do her best here to give these runners a chance. Adams in front on the count. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yep. And all she needed to focus on in this at-bat is just trying to get it hit through the infield.
Gets underneath it and fouls it off, and just behind the area where Mitch is on the boards today playing DJ, as it's missed him, and it's just a high foul ball. Mia gets another opportunity.
Yeah, it'll be really important for Mia to try not overhit the ball as much as she can. With that one, she probably dropped her back shoulder a little bit, causing it to swing under. She'll want to focus on driving through the ball and just driving it through the infield, just to the outfield for a single, because a single base hit means a runner scores.
Tonkin does a good job there with that inside pitch that Adams that got past her last time, making sure now with a runner at 3 didn't get past her. Up, over, Cameron at shortstop, on the ground out, White steps in, and the Falcons retire the Hills, but not before they threaten with runners at 2 and 3 as we go into the top of the second. 0-0, as we just see here on the Arcabar replay.
A little bit more of an elevated pitch, that one. Had a chase in it, and probably a little bit early on that too, causing it to roll over to Maddie Cameron at short, who made a nice easy play over to Bell at 1.
So let's get our special guest here talking. It's hard to get talking with Sophie and me. We're both terrible at talking over each other. So
Don't worry, I feel like my talking's been pretty bad today.
Taylor, just jump in whenever you do. Just there's nothing to be rude. So Mum Wendy, and obviously I did some research on the neighbourhood that you've grown up in, known for its tree-lined neighbourhood. Is that true about
Mission Viejo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful area, and it's really close to the beach, which is the best part about it.
Number 1 attraction,
yes.
the shops.
The shops,
That's what you're known for there.
We're known for our Mission Viejo shops. It's really fun, actually. The food court there is really good.
Wow. Close to the beach, tree-lined neighbourhood, and the best shops. It sounds like heaven. And so why'd you leave?
Why did you go to Idaho?
Why did I go to Idaho? Well, Idaho is the city of trees.
Yeah.
So
fair.
It's a very beautiful, beautiful campus, and I fell in love with the coaches and with the people that are in Boise.
Yeah, right.
And no, it was a no-brainer really for me to go there. I was looking at a bunch of schools, but you can ask my mom and my dad. As soon as I stepped there, I was like, I'm going to go here.
Well, you followed Brother Kyle? Is that when he made it? Is that right?
No, my brother's younger. He went to Montana State Villains for I think a few semesters, and then realized he missed home and came back home.
Right. Okay. So you
He's a
made your own
golfer.
way.
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I definitely am making my own way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I moved to Mission Viejo my junior year of high school. So that's your 11s for you guys?
I think so.
10s, 11s.
Yeah, year 11.
Yeah. So I've really enjoyed the house there and everything.
Marek with a 1-1 count so far on Maddie Cameron, who's leading off the top of the second here as we are 0-0 between the Heat and the Falcons.
Ooh.
Hard ball over to Megan Williams, who's brought a magnet with her today as she makes another out for the Heat. She's currently 4-0 as she's doing all the work, as we see here on the Aqaba replay.
I think Sturt's really going to have to do a good job of fixing their timing a little bit. They're all early, pulling their head, pulling their foot.
It's like they were somebody was throwing probably around about the 100K mark on Wednesday night, and it's a little bit different so far, but Marek doing a very good job with some spots at the moment, limiting any type of damage. And now she's got the right fielder, Oliver Durham. Sorry, Ollie. I'll go with the nickname. I should just read it off the card.
Full legal name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
Off
one.
pace, Bastion stays low, good feet, rocket arm, and again the very tall Erin Adams-McDonald grows a couple of inches at first base and steps in, making the field small here on the Aqaba replay.
Yeah, Ollie definitely made one of the better adjustments compared to the top four. She actually didn't try and overhit that ball too much and try to hit through it, which was the reason why she was able to hit it to Abby and got that better contact, whereas Maddie before, I said, was really early on it, trying to generate the power. Beautiful change up.
Ashlyn Mensforth, the left fielder, recently named in the state team for the 23s. So I believe that's a team that you might be travelling with, Taylor. Is that true?
Yes, I'm going with the under 23s to Brisbane this December. I'm very excited to keep playing and to, experience a new city.
Get up to Queensland.
It's hot and muggy in
That's
Sydney.
what I've been told.
So, no, they'll be lucky to have you. It sounds like a fairly competent pitching staff that they've assembled here.
I know it's me and Ruby.
Yeah, that's right. Ruby Fidge over in the States at the moment. So, Mensforth fouling that one off, and as Sophie Roberts, the power hitter from the Cats, mentioned early on at the start of the broadcast, it was going to be a matter of timing, and the Cats are all in front. Nothing's been on the right side at all. But you can imagine as this game goes on, Soph, that will change. So Claire Mohan-Ram sitting in the bullpen for the Hills.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, beautiful.
Up the other side, just as soon as I said that nothing had gone that way, Mensforth proves me wrong. Great diving effort there by the second base.
That was good from Mensforth. She actually let the ball travel a bit more into the zone that time and hit that up right past second base.
Chloe Zackley, who's the one that made the great diving effort there. 2 out brings the pitcher, number 41, Zali Adams, to the plate with a runner at first. Top of the second, it's zip.
Ooh.
That was a good change-up.
Hills Heat Club Day today. Big crowd in for them, giving them a lot of support. Very young team. Plus Megan Williams. She won't take offence to that, I'm sure. So
She'll be happy that Hogginson's there to try and round it out.
Fouls that one off, does Adams. So 2 out here. Falcons with a runner on. Had a runner on in the first, who then got hit into a double play. So
I just needs to let it travel in a little bit more. She's made the adjustment and gone a bit more forward in the box this time, which will help.
gets underneath this one, drops her shoulder, left field, moving back, takes the catch as Kiara Trevorrow has retired the Falcons in the top of the second. And we'll see that replay there and tell us what you think, Cats. Cats is my nickname for you, the two of you, either one of you to sort of say something.
Yeah, I think she tracks it down pretty well. I would have loved if she maybe sprinted harder, got under, and then went, like instead of this little drift that we see. Because sometimes as a pitcher that makes my heart drop when I start to see that outfielder drift. But no, she read that ball really well. It was pretty high too, so it was in the air.
Yeah,
for
and
a
also
while.
obviously got a bit of a wind down here at West Beach tonight, so I'd no doubt that played a bit of tricks with it. But yeah, probably just for next time, want to drop step, run hard as you can, try and get underneath it as early as you can so you can set up for if anything does change. But in the end, she did manage to actually track that pretty well and,
she did really
get
well.
the out.
So we've gone to J. Sierra High School. We've then moved in J. Sarah. Then
That's okay.
Yep.
It's right. She can't pronounce town names in Australia. We can't pronounce town names in America.
Yeah. Okay. So, and we've then moved on. And at one stage, you were named in the top 20 youth pitchers in the US.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big
then
statement.
COVID happened.
Yeah.
No, I was very excited when I found that out. My coach emailed me with all of that, and I was surprised, but also was really proud of myself, considering I worked really hard to get to that position. So no, it was very cool. God, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was 4 years, 5 years ago.
Yeah. We've got extensive research capability here. So, that's where all of our budget. No, that's not true. We have no budget. Erin Adams McDonald.
Oh, we wish we had a budget.
The super tall first base, doing a great job over there. Having a good season for the Hills Heat so far, batting .333. She's taken a couple of pitches here, and she brings herself to a great hitting count with 2 balls, 1 strike, as she leads off the bottom of the second for the Heat in a 0-0 game. Hills Heat Club Day. Barbecue, nachos, lots of things going on behind us. So if you're close by to West Beach, there's still time to come down and get some of the goodies that's on offer. A couple of other games today. West Torrens and Glenelg are out on Diamond 2 as we speak. And then tonight, the big clash between the Walkerville Cats and the Seacombe Tigers at 7:30. McDonald swings over. Great low pitch there from Adams. What'd you like about that, Taylor?
Oh, I love the fact that she blended that with her change and with her pitch before. I mean, the biggest thing you talk about as pitchers is tunneling your pitches. So you basically imagine there's a tunnel going from your hand to the batter, and you want to get your pitches to look the exact same and then break last second. So I think she did a really good job of blending those pitches and tunneling her drop and her change.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah, which is something in the first inning. I think the lighter batters, you could see her change started to float more in. So it was getting away from that nice, pretty dropout that blended with her dropout. So now she's getting that back, which is causing these mishits and these swings and misses.
Chloe Zachary, the second base, is coming. Apparently he's been running around taking some great catches in some of the earlier junior games for the Heat today. And Coach Fairley's been kind enough to bring her into the infield to keep her steps at a reasonable level.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, that's a beautiful change-up. I remember first game commentator with you, Anthony, when it was Sturt versus Port. The game plan was obviously utilising Zali's change-up and trying to keep them off balance. But unfortunately, she wasn't seem to be able to get in the grip right at that point. But
lucky.
In the 6-5 hole has Zachary gone with, she's just throwing the bat out at a pitch that was around where the letters would be on the uniform, and it's gone out all the way to left field for men's force. Let's have a look on the...
Perfectly placed.
Half swing. Didn't even need to extend to get it to the outfield.
But that's the thing, like with pitching today, all it is just making contact. It's not trying to overhit it. But I know that Zali's changeup will be a lot more of a threat today because she does seem to be able to... She's hitting her spots better, and she is getting, as Taylor was saying, getting that drop off the plate that is similar to her normal outside drop pitch.
Left field, Kira Trevorrow with the world's most colourful bat has come to the plate. One out with a runner at 1. Ball in the dirt. Tonkin, bulletproof as always, blocks that one. Coach Fairley there giving some instruction at what she wants here. Big opportunity for the Hills. Coming down through the bottom of their line before they come up to the top. Bastion, Temke and Hawkinson. Pressure here on Adams. She's been good so far today. She's already had a couple of strikeouts, one in the first innings, one in the second innings we're in now. Extra ball, Cameron goes on the backhand, knocks it down. And even with the misstep there, Cameron's arm so strong, nearly made the play.
Yeah.
And but Trevorrow has run it out here on the Arkabar replay. Just hit her high, just above the pocket, which wouldn't have felt super comfortable, but then she unleashes the cannon and White steps in, making the infield small. So now we've got 1 out with a runners at 1 and 2. Brianna Luxon, who's the right fielder today, who's just also been named in the state teams, the junior state teams for SA. She comes to the plate. Big responsibility here for at least advancing the runners when you've got the likes of Abby Bastion now on deck.
Yeah, this is good from Hills. They're not trying to hit the ball hard. They're just making contact, putting it in play, and then letting everything else do the work. Like, that was a good hit by... I'm terrible with names today. My brain isn't working. Who's the last hitter?
Kira.
Like, she didn't overhit that at all. She just places it right in front of Maddie, and Maddie is typically normally an outfielder.
That's why that arm was so strong.
Yeah.
Her first A-grade coach played her at second base for a couple of years.
That's right. You've never seen Maddie absolutely ping it in from centre field fence to get you out of home plate.
No, but I've seen her nuke some of my balls in the outfield.
Yeah. But yeah, Maddie's probably not as used to trying to do a backhand there, so that was just playing into it. But similar with Belle White, even if either of them make a mistake, they can still get you out with how absolutely strong their arm is.
Underneath this one, Tonkin jumps out the front, doesn't advance the runners, but also doesn't hit into a double. So we're still alive, bringing Abby Bastion to the plate. Good catch by Sarah Tonkin as that ball, as you can see here on the Aqaba replay, it's just spinning backwards. So that's not an easy catch to take as she comes up. Ball spinning into her.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed too, she even dropped down to block that ball, so she had to get all the way up from a block position to catch that. So that's a really good movement by her to pop up.
Abby Bastion hit to left field in her first at-bat. Here she has a runner in scoring position with 2 out here in the top of the third. Bottom of the second, Anthony. She does the same thing as last time. Shoulder drops in, but this time doesn't make it to left field. It gets
That's
caught.
Probably more her element.
More Maddie Cameron at shortstop to retire the heat as we go into the top of the third now. Still 0-0, as you can see here on the Aqaba Hotel replay.
Yeah, it's been really extensive defense too. That's been helping get out of these innings with no runs scored.
Yeah, I probably would have liked Abby to probably take a pitch or two that at bat, because first at bat she did go first pitch, similar thing, flew out to left, and that time similar thing, took first pitch, popped up to Maddie at shortstop. So probably want her for the next third at bat. Next time she comes around, just take a few more pitches, let it see what the ball's doing a little bit more, let it come into the zone, then she'll be able to drive it through.
So Hills Heat Club Day today. So as we said, they've got some fancy goodies going on behind us. They also obviously want to acknowledge their sponsors, Garden Grove, the Aqaba Hotel, Works Electrical and Solar, Prime CPS, PTY and PE Fairley Carpentry, so which we all know to be one of our umpires down here, Peter Fairley's Carpentry Company, who does a great job. So not only is he a great umpire for the Premier League and at softball and then also up in the hills, but if you need a deck done or anything else like that, he's your guy. So a couple of player sponsors we'll get to next time round. So here we are now in the top of the third. Leading off is recently announced state player Abby Weir. Leans back on the first one, out to Kira Trevorrow. This time holds her ground, then steps in and takes a good look catch, line drive catch.
That was a good hit from Abby. She did hit that pretty well, but it was actually a pretty good catch by Kira, because you can see a bit better from commentary table than so on the monitor, but that ball was dropping. So it was either catch her at her shins or potentially might have dropped in front of her, but did well.
Centre fielder Abby Kennedy takes a pitch. And it's strike one, batting 9 today before we come back to the Tonkin sisters at 1 and 2. Playing centre field so far this season, doing a great job, is Abby Kennedy.
It'll be interesting to see if she might try and drop something short here, put a test on the corners, or if she'll try and hit through.
Well, Adams, McDonald and Williams both known for their speed as they jumped in on that one, but no play. 1-1 is the count. 1 out. Haven't mentioned the umpires today. Damien McCauley, DMAC behind the plate, level 1,000 or whatever level that he's got, but it's pretty much the highest it can be. Tobias Sandler over at first, and Kay Tannebring, KT, at third.
Good old KT.
Mr. T.
Yes, the world's nicest man at third, so it breaks his heart when he calls you out. So, and Tobias Sandler, who's a new umpire to us here in Adelaide, moved over from Gels Park at Waverley, where he was running the show there and doing a great job. So,
Yeah, I think he actually
I think he did home.
he played at our game
yeah.
on Wednesday night, and he did pretty well.
yeah, I heard that. I heard Taylor wasn't super impressed because she'd thrown 11 strikeouts in the last 3 games and only had 6 against the Falcons, but that's okay. It's okay. It's early in the season.
Second game against them, you know,
Yeah.
they've seen me as their 4th and 5th at bats, you know. It's going to start to happen a little
Yeah.
bit more.
Only averaging 10.5 strikeouts a game so far, as Kennedy leans on this one and fouls it off over the plate out to left field as she levels the count up 2-2. Yeah, that's, tournament ball's going to be, you know, obviously if you're going to the 23s, that'll be back more in your wheelhouse because you used to play a lot of ball in compact amount of time, whereas here, this 2 games a week thing, this must be pretty lazy for you at the moment.
It's pretty laid back.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, with one training a week as
yeah,
well.
it's very different from the
Welcome
last
to
4
Australia.
years of my life. Ooh,
Kennedy
good pitch.
swings over another low off-speed pitch as Marek doing a great job for the Heat.
Yeah, she's really holding a very versatile Sturt line pretty well, so good on her. And I think that also just shows the experience of
Well, they were very
posting behind the plate. Yeah.
they were very careful with Tonkin in the first at-bat, and she got hit by a pitch. We've obviously now got an inning, 3 innings worth of data. Let's see what Tonkin comes up with now.
Well, going back to our talk, it is very different coming from, you know, 5 hours a day training for 5 days a week mixed with 5 games every weekend.
And a bit of school too,
And
apparently.
Yep, and you got to be a student first. So it is a very laid-back experience, but it's something that I really enjoy, as I've told a lot of the Walkerville girls and Bindi and them that it's helping to grow the enjoyment of the game back because it's not as abrasive as what, you know, it becomes 24/7 when you're in college.
1-1. 1-1 is the count on Tonkin.
not-
Wearing the world's most colourful cleats to go with Trevor Rowe's colourful bat. So she's now perfect hitting count in a 2-out situation. 2 balls and a strike. She's seen a bit of it now. Again, they continue to pitch the dangerous Tonkin carefully, and so they should. Again, having another great year already is Sarah. So obviously part of the star squad once again, and she's leading the averages, batting 500 for the Falcons after round 4 in 6 games. And
I
she's
think-
that's all right. Picked herself a walk as brings sister Rachel from second base to the plate. 2 out, runner at first, top of the 3rd, and speed up. We've got a
Looks like Eleanor.
Eleanor's come out to pinch run for her as Tonk goes and puts on the gear. Rachel's first at bat was a line drive that got smashed over to Megan Williams that ended up retiring her sister, which I'm sure she'll hear about in the bar afterwards.
But yeah, I think one thing that has been a pretty good consensus whenever we've gotten American players over this league is the fact that they can still keep playing after college. Know that not everyone, unfortunately, is as lucky to have those type of opportunities. So the fact that you can still play the sport you love past college and do it at a bit more of a you are just playing for fun, where it obviously is a bit more intense
When I was
during your 40s.
in my first year of Premier League coaching 30 years ago under Linda Martin, I'll tell you a story about that in just a second that'll blow your mind. Here we go. Ball's low and in the dirt as Tonkin stays off of that one. When I was learning my craft under Linda Martin, my shortstop at the time was a young girl called Anna Ciccarello, who was 15 at the time, and the 30 feet to her right was Mandy Caslow, the 39-year-old third base. Swings right over that one, hard does Tonkin. So we had players of all types of ages
that's,
everywhere.
That's definitely the craziest part too, and the coolest part is to see, you can keep playing however old you are. If you have enjoyment and passion, you can keep playing. And I mean, in college, the youngest is 17 and the oldest is probably 23.
Just on the outside, Tonkin stays off of it. But it must be pretty cool now that you've finished the collegiate part of your career and had some reasonably, good success. I mean, obviously,
she did all right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously some impressive records at Boise State. Is Boise State? Am I saying that right?
Boise.
Boise.
There's Boise, and then there's the proper native term, which is Boise. So you can say it Boise, but Boise is the technical way.
I figured out how to do
say
this.
it.
Boy.
And then
Z.
C.
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah. I was going to say boy like B-O-Y, then Z.
Rachel Tonkins picked up a walk, so both the Tonkins are on deck for free, which is after some great efforts to have Weir fly out to left field, Kennedy strike out, 2 out back to the top of the lineup. Courtney Hawkinson has done the right thing there with showing her impressive leadership as she's taken the time to go out to the young pitcher from the Heat in Zoe Marrick, just to settle her down, because what's happened now is with the Tonkin girls on for walks, look, it's Belle White coming to the plate at 2 out. Belle grounded out to third base in her first at-bat.
Yeah, that was good from Hogginson there to actually call time, because that just puts a pause on the momentum that's built for Sturt by getting 2 back-to-back walks. But it also shows that they've made the adjustments since their first at-bat and are waiting a little bit more for
First pitch there from Marrick. Good early strike, but I wouldn't want to be doing that too often to Belle White, because the ball can get hit pretty hard. But Laura Temke, returning to the Heat, has taken a great catch off to retire Belle White, and the Heat holding the Falcons to no runs for the first 3 innings, and they get a right of reply. As we look here on the Aqaba Hotel replay, White smashes it hard out there, and as you can see, the trees moving behind there, ball swirling, looking into the sun. But Lara Temke has shown why she is a talented young outfielder and why Coach Fairley continues to invest in the youth. As you can see her just over there with her troops, bottom of the third now, giving them some feedback as to what's been going on as she continues to push the youth and grow that part of the Heat. And the results are going to come in the future.
Yeah, that would just be a lot of confidence for Zoe to be able to get a hitter like Belle out, like quite cheaply like that, as a matter of fact. It was a very hard hit and Tamke tracked it very well, but yeah, with 2 runners on base, that's the prime outcome you want.
Yeah, good start. Oh, we've had a malfunction.
Oh no, the poof has come off.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
It's good.
Yeah, just a little bit closer there. Yep,
there we go.
That's better.
Sorry, I needed some water and I knocked it off.
Zali Adams here throwing to the player that we've just been talking about in Lara Temke as she takes an early strike. So today, special guest from the Walkerville Cats, we've got the power hitter Sophie Roberts and the new addition to the Cats that's led them to the top of the ladder after round 4. And that is the new... Sarah Tonkin with a misfire there. And that is the new pitcher from Saddleback Valley in Orange County, California. It's Taylor Caudle joining us on the microphone today. She makes her debut, and we're sort of hoping that she'll join us a couple of times throughout the season. We'll put her with some better people next time so she doesn't get talked over by me and Soph, as it's happening so far today.
Right. I think she can do a solo commentary.
Yeah.
Guys.
Big game tonight. Big game tonight for the Cats. Looking forward to playing Seacombe in a battle that is interesting in the sense that just in early places in the ladder, we've got Walkerville 3 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses, and
what's going on? Zoe's come. Oh, not Zoe.
And then Ollie's
Zoe's
just
come
come
off
from right.
Is that an injury on that last pitch?
I'm not sure.
I honestly think it
potentially.
was. Because she did hobble a little and then she just sprinted off, so I don't...
Yeah, right. Sorry, I was in my notes and doing everything else, but here's DMAC with the info. Hulk of a man.
So we can find out from head coach Sturt, Justina herself.
Justine just dragging her daughter, but it's Coach Adams, sorry, dragging her daughter, but I think it's maybe more of a medical thing than a performance-based thing, like when I dragged my wife in a grand final back in 2001 after 6 innings and slept on a couch for
I was about to say, did you win?
Better part for a couple of weeks. That's my first grand final as the Cats coach. So
I was about to say, if you won, it would be okay, but if not, did you sleep on the couch? Yeah. But yeah, it seems, I hope Sally's all right, but it does seem that definitely...
I was about to say we'll find out for the Adams family if she's okay, but of course Mum's here, so...
Yeah, even though it is quite overcast, it is still quite hot, so message to everyone, make sure you're hydrating.
It'll be interesting too because Ollie's definitely more of an upspin pitcher. I know I've been told she's developing a drop, but purely as a pitcher watching her, I think she's got pretty gnarly rise spin and her body falls for a rise, like falls into place for a rise. So I think it'll be really interesting for these Hills batters to go from a consistent drop and dropping change to a good upspin.
And Ollie's change-up was working very well on Wednesday night. Got me a couple times, but I'm not surprised that you picked up on how good Ollie's rise is because she was taught by Steph Straczynski how to throw it, and Steph is one of the best rise ball pitchers in our comp.
Yeah. Even a bit further than that, yes. Ollie has, from her debut over the past couple of years, continues to rise, but it's hard to just put into context that she's 16 and doing an amazing job here as she probably has a yard on Zali too in the pace. And Sarah Tonkin, if there's anything that she does amazingly well, which there is plenty of, getting the best out of Ollie Durham is one of those things. Likes to work the away corner as Temke pushes out again, trying to play short, trying to create something here in the bottom of the third. It's 0-all and none out. Temke leading us off. Just the recent pitching change so far this innings. Adams for Durham.
I was just thinking, like, both teams have very good speed. Like, they're both very speedy teams, so a bit surprised that only really now just seeing some running bunt attempts.
Well, Temke, as our special guest commentator called it, and she's gone upstairs above the letters, and Temke's followed and struck out for her second strikeout for the game, bringing to the plate Minnesota native Courtney Hawkinson.
Yeah, so it's always been a team where they utilise their pitchers a lot. You never really have one pitcher throw the entire game. But the one thing that works for them is, and works between Ollie and Zali really well, Zali is predominantly more of a drop ball pitcher, but Ollie's got that rice ball, so it's that different plane you're suddenly seeing and gets the strikeout just like that.
Another hard hit shot by Hawkinson. This time, instead of up the middle, it's gone just inside, and Maddie Cameron, with some good feet and that rocket arm of hers, has gone over, as we see here on the Aqaba Hotel replay.
Yeah, nice little one hop for Maddie. Like those, and had a lot of time to get the throw over.
You can just hear when she hits the ball, though. She just hits it so hard. But Cameron, good enough to defend, brings to the plate Megan Williams, who picked up a walk in her first time at bat. This time it's 2 out.
Ooh.
Great little change up there by Megan. Megan Williams got sold on that in a big way.
Don't worry, if it makes Megan feel better, I swung at a change up in the dirt on Wednesday too from Ollie, so it does get you.
Yeah, didn't see her doing too much warm-up too, so that's a pretty good effort. Coach Fairley taking the opportunity to reset her veterans' mindset here as she goes back to the plate. Knowing Sarah Tonkin could happen again on this very next pitch.
Yeah, Sarah's definitely not afraid to call 2 pitches back to back, but
goes hard and picks up a strikeout. So Adams throws a couple of strikeouts in the first 2 innings. Durham comes in and throws a couple of strikeouts for 4 total for the Falcons in the top of the third. And so the Hills have currently out-hit the Falcons 2-1. And base runners basically coming through a hit by pitch and the walks. So just haven't seen any back-to-back hitting to actually break anything open, or, you know, a short game that's been executed to allow something else to happen. So, but Zoe Marrick, probably the story of the day at the moment, not batting. She's just constantly working in the defence here, and against, you know, a different looking Falcons lineup than we've been used to over the past couple of years. But when you've still got superstars like the one walking past us at the moment, Maddie Cameron, as well as Belinda White and Sarah Tonkin, the fact that she's taking them into the fourth and she's only thrown to 13 batters, hats off to Zoe Marrick so far, doing a great job.
Yeah, it's defences that are doing it for the day. Both are doing their job, backing up their pitches. Pitchers are throwing their guts out. So it will be interesting to see who actually scores first.
Maddie Cameron, hard shot to third base in her first at-bat. Traditionally likes to go early in the count.
Loves to swing at that first pitch.
That was a good setup that was a good call by Hawkinson there.
Yep,
a little bit of change up there.
It's the best way to deal with an antsy batter. Somebody that wants to go in and hit first, you throw something off speed.
And especially batters who swing hard.
Yeah, if there's anybody that can put the ball into the doghouse, she can do it at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, I've seen her make a dent in the doghouse roof, so...
Marrick comes back with an outside edge that Hawkinson frames beautifully. And all of a sudden, Cameron, 2 strikes, no balls. She's leading off the fourth. It's 0-all here for Hills Club Day. Goes above the letters, asks the question, Cameron good enough to stay off of that in her new role as the shortstop for the Falcons? So...
yeah, she did a good job laying off that pitch. If I had her swinging at those first 2 changeups, I might have followed with another one.
She waits a little bit on this one, puts it into the sun for Zachary, who just good feet behind second base, keeps her eye on the ball the entire time, and takes a well-judged catch to retire the leadoff for the Falcons. Arkabar replay.
It looks like another little change-up. Maddie definitely reached on that. But yeah, like, good on you, Zoe. Like, she's absolutely doing her absolute best. Oh, sorry, my words are not very good today.
Ollie Durham doesn't wait at all and beats Abby Bastion, which isn't a line that you say too often in that 6-5 hole, as Bastion at full extension gets dirty but couldn't get it. Durham smashes the ball and Trevorrow picks it up at left field here on the Arkabar replay. No real chance there for Abby. She did good just to even get close to it. And thankfully, Trevorrow knocks the ball down, doesn't let it through.
Yeah.
So we've got a new player that's come in, which is, was it Lily, the one we were talking about?
Eleanor came in.
Eleanor's come in. Sorry, that was the number I didn't have. 22. Right, 33.
Ollie's, like, we definitely know Ollie for her pitching power. She's obviously shot up through the grades for the speed she can throw for someone so young and small. But this year she's actually done very well with the bat. Even in our 2 games against her, it wasn't so much, you know, Belle and Maddie that were having trouble with it. It was actually Ollie. Ollie was the one that actually got the hits against us on Wednesday. So that's just showing she's starting to become a bit more of an all-rounder player as well.
Marrick over to Williams, plays the lead runner. Zachary gets there, takes the ball low as Durham slides into second as Morris gets up to first for the second out.
Yeah.
That was Ashlyn
Mensworth.
Well, right, so...
Now Eleanor, I think,
Eleanor's up now.
Yeah, right, so I've butchered that. My apologies to Morris and Mensworth there. But a good play there by the Hills Heat defence. They're now 2 out here.
Just similar again, a bit too early on the swing. Just need to watch it come into the zone a bit more.
Williams' magnet of a day continues. It is ridiculous what is going on there, as she makes another play as she retires Morris and retires the Falcons. And as we go into the top of the 5th, it's, this game is flying along, 3:50, so we're over halfway. But we're walking into the 5th innings here. It's still 0-all. 2 hits apiece by both teams. So far, it's Hawkinson, the catcher from the Heat, and Zach Lee with the 2 hits. And for the Falcons, it's Durham and Mensforth who have put the ball into play, but nobody's been able to put any real pressure on. So not getting the time that I was hoping to have to ask some more questions of our special guest all the way from California, who has led the Cats from last year's 6th place currently to the top of the ladder, having an outstanding season so far. Got an ERA of just 1 and is throwing 10.5 Ks a game, which for those Cats supporters must be some great
Pretty
sights.
happy about that.
Great sights to see them back up. Mia Oates-Wallace here leading off the bottom of the 5th v Durham. So I'm assuming that enjoying your time so far here?
I am. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm finally starting to get a routine and settle fully in, and that's the best part, is I thrive on routine. So
Oates-Wallace smashes this ball across the first base foul line and goes all the way out to right field. Well, I suppose the advantage of living with Annie Fidge is that you would never talk softball.
No, we after our games we go home and watch the Sturt and all of those games, and it's funny. It's everything we talk about is softball, which I love.
Yeah.
But I think also she misses it because obviously her 2 daughters are in California and Hawaii, so she doesn't have any of them to talk about pitching with since they're both pitchers. So
yeah, Millie and Rebby dominating over in the US as they are. Durham here, 1-1 count to Oates-Wallace. Across the letters, Oates-Wallace stays off it for a 2-ball, 1-strike count in the bottom of the 4th here.
At least you got Beaver. I'm sure he's happy to.
Yeah, their dog Beaver is the
That's a very
cutest.
big dog too.
That's a big dog. He thinks he's small, which is hilarious.
Oates-Wallace takes the outside edge strike.
So what does your routine look like now?
Yeah, if you're not training 5 hours a day and stuff like that. So.
I'm still waking up early. If we don't have night games, I wake up early the next day, and I usually go to a workout class.
Oates-Wallace does a great job there for the Heat, picking herself up a walk after her ground out in the 1st innings. And the flex has been called as Marek now comes in. Zoe Marek, obviously a very capable hitter herself, but also has some great speed. She comes in for Oates-Wallace now here late in the game as the flex. Be interesting to see. I would say that she's probably going to be in for the rest of the day. And
I'd actually like to see Reggie maybe put on a steal here, really test Tompkins'
Oh,
arm.
Reggie's aggressive. Don't worry about that. There's everything. But I suppose the one thing I was going to say about the stealing thing, against the Heat, and no disrespect to them over the past couple of seasons, they've probably been one of the teams like the Tigers, which has been easier to run on. Neely Peterson at the Tigers definitely solved that problem.
Yes.
You wouldn't running on hers, not a great idea. Neither is running on Hawkinson. So Tonkin herself, no slouch in this position. Adam McDonald, the first base, struck out in her first at-bat, but did take the count deep. So whether or not Zoe Marek, as you say, Sophie, is going to do something here, trying to force the play, but it's none out here. Heat with an opportunity.
Ooh.
Ball hit and stays safe through. Marek's already on her way to 3rd. Ball's being... she's come on. I was just going to say, Marek overran the base and Weir covers it up. Good backup by Durham over at 3rd base. And obviously it was Morris out at right field.
I think that's Abby.
That's Abby's been moved over to
and then that's
right
why I've
field.
been
So
confused.
Eleanor's left, Morrison's centre field, and Kennedy is now at right field. But nothing you can do there part of the Sturt defence. That was just perfectly placed. Rode the first base line to save foul.
Well, we talked about forcing something, and Erin Adams-McDonald hasn't forced it. She's just made it happen. When the moment came, she's lined the ball past an Olympian up the line, and now we've got runners at 1 and 3 and none out for the Heat. Big opportunity on their club day against the team above them on the ladder, the Sturt Falcons. So Chloe Zackley is one of the people that's already got a hit for the heat today. She's had a shot out to left field. That was against Adams. This is her first look at Durham. Fouls this one off to the first base fence. So, Zachary, Trevorrow, Luxon before we come back to Bastion, Tamke and Hawkinson. So far, Bastion's had 2 flyouts to left field against Adams. Ball in play. Marek comes down the line. White holds. Ooh. And what a great play by Bell White. Nearly comes off.
That'll be good to see on the replay.
Looking forward to that immensely as the ball bounces high. White reads it beautifully, comes in, fields it, and then looks to play third, then turns away to make the out at 1. Marek comes down the line, but holds her ground here on the Aqaba Hotel replay. Just talk us through that, Taylor.
It just shows her knowledge of the game and her softball IQ. I mean, that was a very, it bounced high, but it wasn't very rolling out. Like, it wasn't going to get far away from the plate, so the odds of getting her out at first with somebody with speed is very low. But you need to somehow draw that runner off of third if you want to try to get it out. So it was very smart of her to field it, peek, fake the throw to first, and go back to third just because it shakes up the runner at third. But
I've just got the acknowledgement from the cameraman behind the plate. So not only did Bell White nearly get Zoe Marek out, but it also caught the cameraman offline as well. So here we go. Bases loaded, none out, and that brings Kira Trevorrow to the plate. She's got on base with an error on at shortstop. Maddie Cameron got hit just above the pocket, but still recovered. But now this is a big opportunity here for the Heat.
Oh,
ball in play. Kennedy's going to come around. 1 scores. Marek scores. Adam McDonald. Oh no.
Turn up. Two runner.
Double runner here. White.
She'll get her in a bit of a trap play here.
Tag them both.
Adam McDonald.
Oh, wow.
Bell White.
Are they not both out?
No, she
touched
got
the
back.
base, which forced Adams off.
Well, no, when there's 2 runners, if the runner on third is still on base, the trail runner does not take priority over her.
Again, that's just an experience lacking there. That's just
like a little bit to unpack here. Starts with the great shot out to right field. Kennedy fields well, gets the ball in quick, and throws it to the right person in Bell White, who sums up the situation really quickly here. You can see that Marek's already gone on and scored, and Trevorrow, is it Zachley, has overrun the base. Yep. And Erin Adams McDonald, who got held up at third.
Because she's off the base, that's why.
Yeah. So nothing really Adams McDonald could do there once she got pulled up and Zachley was so deep. But it doesn't matter for the Heat because they've scored. And
they've broken the deadlock.
Yeah, we're 1-0 now. And there's still opportunities here because even with the couple of outs, with 1 out, what's happened now, we've still got runners at 2 and 3, and we're at 9 in the line, which means Bastion, Tamke, Hawkinson to come. Big change of game here. Can't keep up with it.
Yeah, that was just the same from Kira. She didn't hit that hard. She just placed it really well, and that's just what broke the deadlock, which is what both Hills and Sturt need to do. Not trying to overhit the ball, just placing it.
Bell White just showing her class defensively there, though. Just
extremely smart.
As the way
this is what you get from the ex-Aussie vice captain.
She just, that play could have gone multiple different ways, but she kept her cool, kept the lead runner as her focus, and got the out, stopped the lead run from scoring. So ground out to Cameron, who's come in shallow. Cameron has a choice. Bell
safe.
White. Oh, wow. Again, so much happening, and it's all happening very quick. So I'm going to need the Aqaba Hotel replay to help me out here. Taylor, you're going to need to help me out as well because this is all happening super quick.
Well, it looked like Maddie initially thought about going home because that runner broke right away, but you can tell that Sarah Tonkin's pointing first, like she's telling her to go first.
And then White, great transition. Throw perfect as you'd expect from Bell White.
I think had it been maybe a foot, metric system, a foot higher. Sorry, everybody listening. If that was a foot higher, I think it would have been more of a bang-bang tag. But you did see, I don't know who's at third, but she had to come forward to reach it, which took her away from the tag, so she had to go back.
Abby Weir. So another run scores for the heat. They now go to 2-0 up here in the bottom of the fourth. And now Abby Bastion, double flyouts, but against Zali Adams. Her first look at Ollie Durham today.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be patient here. Hasn't thrown a strike yet. Hasn't seen a strike yet. Oh, no. No, yeah, has seen a strike. Yeah, but got to be patient.
Yeah, something that I've noticed playing against Sturt so far and even watching their games is that Sarah Tonkin does an amazing job at getting her body in front of the ball.
Bastion, for the first time today, goes the opposite field, and a well-judged catch by Abby Kennedy brings it to an end. But not before the Heat have created some chaos on their club day as they take a 2-0 lead as we go into the fifth against the Sturt Falcons.
Playing some country music over there.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Some Luke Bryan. I love that.
Yeah.
That's where I'm from. But yeah, that was definitely an erratic inning, and I think that it was so beneficial that Belle White kind of got the front of it because it did show the softball IQ. I mean, 2 runners is one of the most, not difficult, but confusing plays to happen because you're taught to run the runners together. So she did a really good job of pushing that runner to third, which forced the other runner to either make the decision to stay or to move, and oftentimes they make the decision to move, and it's just better to stay half the time. So yeah, it was definitely, that was a very eventful half inning.
Very eventful half inning. But Hills have broken the deadlock. They are currently 2-0 against Sturt. So, but now you usually find that when it's been a deadlock game like this, as soon as one team's able to break it, the other team is then also able to break their deadlock and get a few runs on. So it'll be interesting now to see if Sturt does make the adjustment and be able to turn it over and get some runs back themselves.
Belle White is now the third base coach. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Hills respond. I mean, when you score, it's very important how you pitch to the first batter because that sets the tone for the rest of the inning. And
so, yeah, Abby Weir here leading off the top of the fifth and, as you say, setting the tone for a fight back here, which the Falcons did against the Cats on Wednesday night, down 4-zip late. So Zoe Marek so far has gone the distance, and she now starts her work going into the fifth innings against the leadoff. Abby Weir's only had the one at bat today, which was a fly out to left field. And we'll see how this works out.
Yeah, the biggest thing my pitching coach at Boise, Allie Waljasper, is you have to get the first out after scoring. And I even told Sophie in one of our games I did not do that. And I was I was so conditioned to hear my coach yelling at me that I was shocked that nobody said anything. So I was sitting there expecting to be like, come on, Tay. But I was like, it's definitely, that's also part of the changes. I'm used to having the very...
Try. I did ask her if she wanted me to yell at her instead to keep it, familiar.
Yeah, no, that's the big changes. I'm not living in that environment anymore.
Shot by
Flies
Weir.
it to right field.
Thanks, Soph.
Yeah, good from Zoe there. Got the dropping pitch, but yeah, Abby definitely dropped her hands on that one and skied it for a fairly easy catch to right field. Seeing it now on the Akbar replay. Managed to get a good piece for it, but really swung underneath that. But as Taylor said, Hills have the first out, which is what you want after scoring.
Yeah, I think the pitcher is doing a very good job of keeping them off balance and changing speeds, and I think that something that Sturt really needs to do is choose one speed.
Yeah.
And right now it doesn't look like that's their approach, and with somebody that throws a lot of change-ups, you've either got to sit on the change or you've got to attack fast, so we've got to see some sort of adjustment.
Yeah, but Zoe's definitely showcasing the use of being able to change her speed and all that really well. And one thing I'll always be...
Sophie King just joining us, is she? No, Sophie King's leaving us. Oh.
Bye, Kingy.
Yeah. Sorry, just plenty happening down here today at Hills Club Day. We've just had Base will kick off their first game of the season in the Adelaide League, and they've decided to kindly point all their speakers at our diamond and play some music, which of course means that we can get strucken for YouTube and Facebook violations, so very kind of them. As Kennedy takes this ball out to third base, as she drives the ball, Kennedy struck out. So we're just trying to see if we can make sure that music doesn't get us cancelled. That'd be great.
I can try to speak over it and sing
yeah,
my
we'll
own
just
songs.
talk over each other to make sure.
And then Sophie King, who was just here before, is the reason that we've been lucky enough to get our special guest today, Taylor Caudle, as Sophie King chickened out on doing the commentary. So, sorry, did I say that?
We were at a...
Kennedy puts the ball back to Marek, and a ground out, and so 2 out as the Heat continue to turn the screws here on the Falcons in the top of the 5th. It's 4:05, which means we're getting late in the game here. Aqaba Hotel replay, outside pitch.
Yeah, Kingy and I were out for a round of golf, and she goes, "Do you want to commentate?"
Yeah, that sounds like something Kingy would say.
I said,
ironically, that's not how Sophie tells the story. Sarah Tonkin here with her 3rd at-bat versus Zoe Marek, and this is going to be a crucial at-bat because Tonkin today, hit by pitch and a walk, hasn't had a chance to clear her hands. The Falcons now down 2-0 in the 5th. You'd be looking for Tonkin to be aggressive, as she is, with new base coach Belle White.
Belle almost went
yeah, she wanted to grab that.
That's just instinct.
But yeah, Kingy was like, "Would you want to commentate?" And I said, "I wouldn't be against it." And she goes, "Okay, I'll text him." And I said, "Okay."
So I'll tell you how Sophie's conversation with me went. She goes, "This American girl just will not stop going on about it. She so badly wants to do it." And, Kingy, so she's just team first always.
Yeah.
Sacrificed herself. Tonkin
wow.
waits on the pitch,
Beautiful.
puts the ball in the perfect spot as she drives it up the middle past Zackley and fielded by Tamke out at centre field.
Yeah, and if you watch back the replay, you'll actually see that her barrel's a little bit behind her hands, which is something that you really need to do with a pitcher that is mixing speeds, is staying behind that ball.
Yeah, and Tonkin's always been a left side hitter. Like, it's just the one thing you know about her. But I've actually seen a couple of times this year her hit to that just right of centre gap. But yeah, definitely made the adjustment, as Taylor said, to keep her bat actually behind the ball and behind the speed.
Rachel Tonkin comes to the plate. Rachel so far line drive to third base Megan Williams and a walk. But again, as we were talking before, Kingy has come back for that opportunity. Hawkinson behind the plate, keeping the runner tag, but it doesn't matter when Tonkin, Rachel, the second base, has gone out to left field for a single. And as the Falcons did on Wednesday night against the Cats, the rally's begun. Runners at 1 and 2 and 2 out. Belle White's already had this situation come up to her before today, and she flew out to centre field. So she gets a second opportunity with the same scenario.
Yeah.
Runners on, 2 out. But let's see a third look at Zoe Marek, what that does.
Yeah, starting to build the momentum here, and this is when they get dangerous. When Sturt get momentum, they're very hard to stop it. But looks like Coach Fairley is bringing in a pitching change and bringing Zoe off and bringing on Claire Mohan-Ram.
Zoe Marek, that's easily the best game I've seen her pitch
100%.
against.
She's definitely in my mind for the
Sporty's Bar player of the game. So, yeah, absolutely. That was a great effort. She's up until the 4th, she'd given up only the 2 hits, a couple of strikeouts, only a couple of walks, and her defense had actually done the job in backing her up. So they've gone to Claire Mohan-Ram, who is probably a bit quicker than Zoe, but Zoe done a great job with her mix today and just offsetting the power hitters that the Falcons have, and just showed great control. So it was a great all-round performance.
And this is my first time seeing both of these pitchers. I can't remember who pitched against us, but I don't think she's here today.
We had Zali Summers, the Queenslander, pitch against us first round.
Yes, that's right.
So it's interesting also to see the depth that their pitching staff can have, because I know that she went the whole game for our game. Definitely a pitching duel, but yeah, it's very cool to see these younger pitchers stepping up too.
Soph, I'm just going to get you to run the game just for a sec because I've got to fix this music thing so that we stay on air.
I'll take over.
So, all right, I'm leaving you with a couple of cats. So, all right, I'll be back shortly.
Hi, everyone. Now that he's gone.
So what's the goss? What's been going?
I don't know.
What's been new? Dodgers won the World Series. Very
They
happy about that.
did.
I'm a big Dodgers fan. So
I am not.
I was very happy to see New York Yankees get beat.
I am an Angels fan, which is just, not. They just don't. They took Shohei from us, so.
I'm happy.
Yeah, I know.
Because Shohei's my favourite player, but Dodgers is my favourite team. So when he made the move, I was like, brilliant! Very happy. What makes you happy? I do have an Angel shirt at home.
Yeah. I was debating bringing over some Angels gear, but I was like, no. This is definitely like a big moment for Sturt, because this is definitely their 1-2 punch in their lineup.
Yeah.
As somebody that's pitched against them, it's hard to. You sometimes want to pitch around Bell, but then you have Maddie. Right
Yeah, but this
after.
is also a tough. Putting Claire in a tough position, coming in off the bench to pitch against one of the best batters in Australia. It's a big ask, so it'll be interesting to see how she responds.
She definitely looks like she's got more spin than the last pitcher did. Whereas the last pitcher was really good about mixing speeds. She'll probably get you on different spins and different movements.
Yep. Yeah, Zoe's definitely the good block by Hawkinson there. Doing very well behind the plate, keeping it all in front. Absolutely wall, which is what you want your catchers to do. But no, Zoe's pitching performance today is one of the reasons why I will generally say that, most time I would much rather face a pitcher who's throwing 100, 110k down at me than someone who can control, that speed and has that good change up, because it is very frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, batting's all about timing, and pitching is disrupting timing. So when you have a good change pitcher, that's all they're doing.
Yep. Change ups are one of my favourite pitches to call because of that reason.
Yes, I know.
Well, it helps if I can catch a change up as well.
All right, so I see Bell White's on first.
Yes, walk.
Yeah, so Bell drew the walk, bringing Maddie Cameron up to the plate. So full loaded bases for Sturt. I was just saying it's going to be very interesting to see how Claire responds to being brought in off the bench to face the two best batters in Sturt's lineup.
Arguably the competition, so.
Yeah, and arguably Australia as well.
Thank you. A watchful Maddie Cameron, considering the situation, makes sense. 2 out. Could be game on the line here as we go into 4:12.
Yeah, Sturt will definitely want to bat long here. That way they potentially don't have the chance for a new innings to...
Well,
actually, no, never mind. Hills will have to finish batting anyway.
Yeah, Hills are going to get the right of reply regardless, but still, they've got to get a run on the board. And Maddie Cameron, if you wanted a person in the situation to do that job, Maddie Cameron's the player. Here she goes. She leans into it, but it's got underneath it. Williams takes an amazing catch as the ball swirls, as the Falcons get retired with bases loaded, 2 out. And Megan Williams has taken a great catch, and it's
And what's the time rules again? Like, when is the...
no new innings with 5 to go.
Okay.
So you can
Still
see
trying
here.
to figure it out. Sorry.
Yeah. So Bastion started running in, but the fielder, the runner, sort of halted her progress. And of course, we don't want the pitcher catching a ball.
No.
So no offense, Taylor. Of course.
No, that's okay. I don't want a ball.
I've been married to a pitcher for 26 years. It's just a rule.
Yeah, you don't. We're the smallest number. We're number 1. Everything above us, they catch the ball.
Williams did a great job in judging that, and wow, that's that was the
Wynn
hard.
definitely took that right across. So.
And she stayed with it, and so the Heat on course for an upset here on their club day. Just an update too on Zali Adams for all the Zali Adams fans out there. Not well, unfortunately. She's in the club regiment at the moment, getting some attention. She's in a bit of pain, so wasn't anything that seemed to hit her or anything. She's just, but she's in good hands for those that might be watching up in Port Pirie, or Falcons fans all round. but she's in good hands and getting looked at as we speak. So
I will say that's probably the hardest adjustment was pitching on this turf instead of dirt. So I've seen a few pitchers go down. In Glenelg, I can't remember her name, she went down. I threw a pitch one time where my foot got stuck and I threw it right into myself. So it's definitely a big adjustment going from dirt to turf. So there's times where you land and you're anticipating some movement because dirt gives, and there's none on turf. So
yeah, fair enough. Unfortunately, the maintenance of the diamonds here is a difficult task. Lara Temke doesn't make that look difficult as she's just casually throwing the hands across the plate and hit the ball 180 feet out to right field, but it's just gone foul into the wind. So
yeah, and honestly, it's nice too because it is a flat surface. I know sometimes in games when you drag, you start to create craters basically. So that is the one nice thing is that it does not matter.
Yeah, ankle breakers.
Yeah, seriously. So, but that is definitely something that can hurt pitchers is when there's no give on the land or anything like that.
Yeah, or even fielders who run across to try and field a ball. It's very, what's the word?
Just different.
Yeah.
Tamke getting her first look at Durham today after her first 2 strikeouts. Lots of bat and ball here, but so far none of it into the field of play. She's 2-2 on the count. The dangerous Hawkinson on deck. Family sitting at home, I would suggest, in Minnesota, and it'd be well after midnight there. I mean, they're going to have to get ready for.
It's probably 1 a.m. almost 2 a.m.
Yeah, but they've got Minnesota are playing the Colts this week, so strikeout.
That's the type of pitch I like to see called a strike because that's my pitch.
Yes. So they'd be sitting at home getting ready for Vikings Colts on Sunday, which
it's a good game.
5-2 and 4-4. So
currently 12:46 in the morning over there.
Well, Courtney has tried to get us to a couple of her watch parties, which of course at 3 a.m. is not the ideal time to watch NFL.
No.
So, but we've met her a couple of times and she is great. And as I said, doing a great job with the leadership of this young Hills team. And her herself, like you, Taylor, got an impressive college record. Takes another low pitch there, good discipline. So she's a Bethel Royals University. So NCAA Division 3 level, one of the top 3 div teams in the nation, and was recognised all conference and captain of the college team for 3 years. And you only have to be around her for a couple of minutes to figure out, to see why that's the case.
Oh yeah, she carries herself in a very leadership role manner. And
just an infectious personality. Here she is, 3-0. I would suggest the like would be green. But the discipline stays true as she stays off of it, forcing Durham to throw her a strike. Now she's seen it. Interesting time in the at-bat now. 3-1, 1 out. Hawkinson's last at-bat for the game, and stays off of it with great discipline and gives the Heat another base runner opportunity here at 1 out.
This is definitely the time, too, that Hills wants to stretch out at-bats and make everything a little longer than they normally would.
7 minutes to go, so it's going to have to be a fairly long innings from here at 1 out.
It's also something that I needed to adjust to coming here was timed games because I have not.
We only played innings come finals.
Yeah, I haven't pitched a timed game in 4.5 years, and you pitch 7 innings no matter what. And my team was notorious for having really long games. Oh!
Williams drives it up the middle and far out. That Sporties Bar player of the game is becoming an interesting conversation to my 2 cats here, because we've got Megan Williams, who defensively has been a magnet and now picked herself up a single to go with a walk and a strikeout. But also Zoe Marrick's just an impressive pitching performance. I mean, obviously Hawkinson herself already picked herself up a shot to centre field. She got a walk and has called a great game with Marrick. So, Hawkinson would be part of that. So all Heat players so far that I'm looking at. So, but it's not my call. But I know that Sophie's going to be interviewing her whoever it is, just
Oh,
yeah. So
I haven't been talking very well today.
well, you're going to be on camera facing it in 6 minutes, so no pressure. Williams, shot up the middle. Runners at 1 and 2. It's 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Mia Oates-Wallace wastes no time, swinging a heavy bat. She's grounded out to shortstop and picked herself up a walk so far today. And it was a really important walk because that walk was the one that led McDonald's, Zackley, Trevorrow and Luxon at the bottom of the order for the Heat to pick up a bunch of scattered hits that scored Marek and co.
And that's usually how it goes, too. I mean,
Beautiful change.
it's always usually following a walk that stuff seems to break open, or the little blooper hits that barely get over the infield. Those are the ones that I've tend to notice is really made games break open and runs scored, whereas like those really hard hits are nice, but sometimes that's just it, right? It's like, oh, one big hit.
Yeah. And Mia Wallace goes down on a couple of strikeouts.
2 back-to-back change-ups there.
Pretty change-ups.
Yeah, very pretty change-ups. But one thing I definitely noticed in the first inning from Hills is, Tamaki and Bastion both got out very quickly on about 1-2 pitches each. But then Hawkinson came in, took her time, drew the walk, followed up by Williams as well. Got 2 back-to-back walks. And I could just see it in the latter half of the lineup after they got them that they then made the adjustments to be a bit more patient in the box, wait on the pitches, make good contact and that. So I think that just goes to show, as you were saying a bit before, Anthony, just like the leadership between those two. Like, it's not loud with voice, it is just that leading by example, and it's just flowed down through to the younger players, and they've taken charge to put them in this position 2-0 up against a very competitive, aggressive side like Sturt.
Yeah. Adams McDonald so far a strikeout, but she was also the person that led off the hits that scored the runs as she hit a shot to right field up the line past Bell White. So the Heat holding on to a 2-0 lead here. It's now 4:21, 2 out. So likely that the Falcons will bat again as McDonald swings over the top of that one. So tense moments here. Hills Heat Club Day, big success as they've held their fundraising behind us, and obviously they'll be holding the CFS round in February this year, which for the first time is statewide. Adams McDonald fouls that one off. So Valentine's Day, February 14, will be up at Animbo Park for the Heat versus the Rebels, as it's been the last couple of seasons. And then on the Saturday, we'll come back to West Beach and continue a statewide CFS round, raising money for the Country Fire Service, an important part for the Hills.
Yep,
Ball in the dirt, well in front of Tonkin. She had no chance there as the runner, Williams, gets his way up to second.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate bounce there. Just dropped right before the plate, and I said Anthony, Tonkin couldn't do anything there.
No.
That's just a really bad bounce.
So, runner in scoring position. Time ticking away now, 4:23. So, as a really, really mature walk there for Erin Zanna McDonald, who, as another player who's had a good game, she's done some good things there at first base. She's got a hit and she's got a very important walk, and we find ourselves here at 4:23. Chloe Zackley, I mean, you did say before, Taylor, that we're getting a bit close towards the end. I thought 8 minutes might be a bit much, but they've got it down to, they've got 6 of that out of the way. So they're down to 2 minutes.
Well, a lot of their counts, too, have been drawn all the way out to full. So.
And that's probably something Reggie told them beforehand. They've got the lead, and they're probably most likely just trying to play out the time here. So probably
bases loaded, and a little bit of drama here, which is what we love. As Coach Fairley
tactics.
Let them play.
Has used a great opportunity here just to
that's rough.
give her young player there, and Chloe Zackley some advice as
Let them play.
bases loaded. So a little bit of theatre for the game late in the day, and here we go. So 4:24. Zackley at the plate. Count has to go, and go she does, fouling it off down the right field line. The Heat have got bases loaded here. It's the bottom of the 5th. It's 2 out, and we are now at 4:24 with no new innings
10 seconds
to start. So, assuming the game went off exactly at 3 o'clock, and D-Mac, normally renowned for his punctuality, this could be it, as Zackley with a fighting out bat here.
Yeah, this has been the epitome of a team
And
game.
she's gone bang.
Beautiful shot.
Doesn't matter anymore as she's gone into the hole. As Zackley puts it all on home run heroes fence.
Clear the bases.
And cleared the bases as the Hills scores 3 more to take their lead from 2 to 5. As
I think that seals it.
Whatever Coach Fairley said in that 30 seconds break just before,
must have started a little after 3.
must have had come up with something. And that is a huge, speaking of
beautiful.
You know how we've been talking about Hawkinson's been great behind the plate, Marrick's been good. Then we also mentioned Megan Williams defensively, so many plays at third and a single. Just might mention the fact that Zackley got brought in from right field into second base because she's already played today. She's gone 3 for and now just picked herself up 3 RBIs.
Yeah.
Good luck picking that out. So,
I know, it is always the ball
on, Abby.
Goes flying out to Abby Kennedy at right field, but falls foul. So Chloe Zackley putting herself in contention for the Sporties Bar player of the day with her 3-4 and some good plays at second base. So,
it is the question of, am I giving props more to the defensive side or?
Well, I mean, at 2-0, this game was on a knife's edge, but Chloe just put that to bed with just a great performance. And wowee, Trevorrow here, again, just taking time as we've now gone past what we believe is no new innings.
I mean, it definitely hit the nail on the coffin, that last hit.
Yeah, that's definitely cemented it.
As this time, ball gets flying up as Weir takes it.
Another
and
inning.
Double arms from D-Mac as the Heat on their club day have run out winners 5-0 against the Sturt Falcons in a really impressive game for a bunch of young players who were missing a couple of their seniors. Their star player, Georgia King's not playing. But a great all-round team performance. And, wow, we didn't even get enough time. I've got 60 questions still to ask Taylor that I never got to. As we just see here, the final player of the day as Abby Weir takes that catch. But the Heat deserve that win.
100%. That's just a confidence booster right there for the young team to get on top of a good team like Sturt and 5-0 at that as well.
Yeah,
that's just brilliant.
That's a huge win, and it endorses Coach Fairley's belief in pushing her young team and sticking with them as she has. But so for those that are in Minnesota, so thanks for watching, and we hope to see you again. So if you'll need to go out and grab the Sporties Bar Player of the Day.
Hi, Mom. Hi,
have
Dad.
A couple of questions.
I know they're up. They just texted me.
Oh, Taylor's
Hello.
parents have just come up, so I'm sure they'll.
Miss you.
We'll have a chat to Taylor on the next game, and we'll finish the rest of that as we just get set up for Sophie Roberts from the Walkerville Cats to come up and do her interview for the Sporty Bar's Player of the Day. But Taylor,
I think it should be Williams. Is that who? Not Williams, the one who hit the.
Yeah, Chloe Zackley.
Yes.
Yeah, the young player who's. It's just also going to quickly mention the Hills Heat, as I said, CFS round coming in on February 14th, statewide round. And the Hills Heat club sponsors just want to thank Garden Grove, the Aqaba Hotel, Works Electric Solar, Prime CPS Pty and PE Fairley Carpentry. Player sponsors MFY, Barham Services, TBS Freight Family Trust, Salient Consulting and National Water Brokers. So we're now going to cross over to Sophie Roberts, who's with the Sporties Bar Player of the Game, Chloe Zackley.
Yep, so I've got Chloe Zackley here who did an absolute fantastic job that last inning, absolutely cemented the win for the Hills. Absolute all-round team game there today, but absolute fantastic. How'd you feel?
Pretty good. Pretty damn good, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic win against a team like Sturt. You know, they're very strong with the experience, but you guys really scrapped together and got the win, backed up. Young pitchers, Zoe there did well. But Anything else to say?
No, I'm just super proud of my team. We played the way we play, so came through in the end.
Perfect. I bet you're all very happy to get that win on club day as well.
Definitely very happy.
That's brilliant. Fantastic job, mate. Definitely deserve it of it.
Thank you.
And so Sophie Roberts there with Sporty Bars Player of the Day, Chloe Zackley, for a 3-for-3 performance with a 3-run RBI in the top of the fifth. Bottom of the fifth. Taylor Caudle, who's been our special guest, been great to have you. We look forward to having you again soon.
Yeah.
All the best for tonight. What
Thank
are you
you.
looking forward to in the late game tonight at 7:30 against the Tigers?
I'm looking forward to playing them again. We played them a week and a half ago now, so pretty quick turnaround as far as seeing them again. But no, I'm very excited to also see how our defense and our offense react again, because our offense has been waking up recently, so I'm very excited.
The only tip I'll give you is don't sleep on them. West Torrens were 5-0 leading into the sixth, and then they ran over the top of West Torrens 6-5 in the last inning. So, but Taylor Caudle, she's leading the pitching award so far here with 60-plus strikeouts in just the first 6 games. If you want to see somebody throw rockets, come down to Diamond 1, 7:30 p.m. tonight, West Beach Diamond 1 for the Seacombe Tigers versus the Walkerville Cats. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, Mitch. And we're out of here.